cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut.
Today's episode is brought to you by Gem Accessories. Gem Accessories is one of the leading accessory manufacturers within the trading card game space. Known for their deck boxes, Gem also has an amazing lineup of binders, backpacks, and more. Some of our personal favorites include the new KLRZ Icons deck boxes, the Secrets binder, and the Jaguar and Puma backpacks. But don't just take it from us, check out some of these reviews on screen. For all these amazing products and more, be sure to check out Gem Accessories using the link in the description down below or on Twitter at XGemAccessories. Again, the description down below or on Twitter at XGemAccessories. Hello, everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sunny. I'm your host. I'm here with my co-host, Caleb.
Hello.
And, of course, before we get too far in, we want to thank all of our wonderful sponsors. A huge thank you to, of course, Gem Accessories for sponsoring this episode, as well as, of course, Millennium Threads. You can find discount codes with links to both of those down below. Of course, we also want to thank our other sponsors, Steelfox Games and ETB Games. You can find links to both of them down below. And, of course, last but not least, we want to also mention our TCG Player and Dragon Shield affiliate links. You can find both of those down below. Just click them before you shop to support the channel at no extra cost to yourself. And, of course, the final thing we're going to bring up is if you are interested in our Patreon, you can find a link to that down below. We are adding some new Patreon goals. We're not entirely sure what they are yet. Something involving at maybe, say, like 500 patrons, Caleb gets a tattoo.
Something. Well, we're still blabbing all that.
Yeah, and whatever we do, we're going to do it live on the podcast. No scam. So, whatever we do, we're going to figure out something. It's going to be fun. So, with that said, if you are interested in that, check out our Patreon. You get an extra episode every week, too.
Yeah.
So,
and, you also get our normal episodes, an audio version of it, 12 hours early. I try.
The night before.
Yeah, I try.
Because that's just the earliest we can get it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with that said, let's go ahead and get on into, oh my goodness, we have a ton of stuff to talk about.
Brand new cards.
Yes, so let's go ahead and start with the new terminal offering. So this was
It's a V-Jump promo.
Yes, this was something that was shown about a week or two ago, and it was mentioned a week or two ago, and we didn't have an effect for it. It was just kind of like we were trying to figure out what it was going to be versus it was like an ultimate offering retrain. Well, now we know. This is a continuous trap. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. One, during your main phase, you can pay 1,000 life points. You can conduct up to 3 normal summons or sets this turn, not just one. I love that it specifically says not just one. It's fun.
Yeah.
2, during your opponent's battle phase, you can pay 500 life points. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 monster. They just made Ultimate Offering bad.
No. This is, well, they made Ultimate Offering again, but it's both better and worse. With its, during your main phase effect, you get more bang for your buck. Because in order to get the 3 normal summons, you'd have to pay 1,500 life points. Here it's just 1,000.
I guess.
However, the way it is worded, you get 3 total for the turn. So you get your regular normal summon, then you get 2 more. So even if you like normal summon, let's say you normal summon something that searches this, set it, then immediately flip it, and then you get 2 more. Boom, boom. Because that's 3.
Sure.
Which would actually be 1,000 life points that you would spend there.
Yeah.
And then battle phase 1 is exactly 500 for 1 normal summon to your opponent's battle phase.
Dude, some video listener is just gonna like, you have somebody just watching the video version of the podcast for the first time, and you're like, do they always eat on the podcast?
No.
We were just kind of tired, and it's something to keep us going, keep us awake.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, so, like, overall, it's pretty much just Ultimate Offering, but, like,
not as good.
Not as good. So, a possibility of keeping it legal?
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Ultimate Offering could come off the ban list?
No.
Why?
Why wouldn't I just pay 5? Well, to be fair, it is a purple card.
Yeah.
Yeah. If your deck can literally put your opponent in a situation to where they can't, to where it comes back to you again, you just win.
Counterpoint.
Mm-hmm.
It would only get played in one deck, and even then, that deck could cut it.
That's fair-ish.
Think about it. You don't even need it in Flu.
Oh yeah, no, because you have like literally, you have that thing's literal effect on what, 2 cards?
At least 2. I think it's actually more than 2.
Yeah, with the normal summon 3 times. One of them is a counter trap that locks your opponent out of special summoning, but then they get 3 normal summons. What deck besides Flu is going to abuse? Well, never about.
They have a card that gives them 3 normal summons that they don't run.
Yeah.
Snow.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this Ultimate Offering could come back and not see play.
Maybe, very possibly. And like I said, yeah, like I said, this thing's just Ultimate Offering, but both worse and better at the same time. It's weird.
Sword Soul is the most normal summon reliant deck in Yu-Gi-Oh at the moment, other than obviously Fluunderies.
Yeah, but I mean that.
And Sword Soul would not play it.
Yeah, well, I mean to be fair, if Flu that's their entire shtick is we normal summon.
Yeah, and that's why their effects let them normal summon more. They wouldn't even need it.
Yeah, exactly. So
Ultimate Offering could come back to 3 and be 5.
However, the shenanigans of, oh no, you enter your battle phase and all your monsters are bigger than mine. I'm just going to just pay 500 over and over again until I tribute summon a 3k beat stick.
You can tribute summon Nibiru, yeah.
Which is hilarious.
No, what's really funny is that I actually did this against Caleb. What was it? A couple days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a situation where he debarriered me.
When he had the token on field?
Uh-huh. And I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tribute summon Nib, honestly.
Yeah, so he tributed Nibs just so he could do a link 2.
No, it was just so I could beat your face in because Nib is big.
Fair. Well, no, because like you were also trying to get the token off the field so you could conduct a link summon because you're trying to make Shaman, so then you made Shaman.
I'm going to believe you because you have better memory than me.
Yeah. No, I remember now. You had a Vashuda on field or a Shuna, one of them.
Sure.
And you were trying to link it off, but you couldn't because of the token. So you tribute summon it. So you tribute summon Nib, and then linked it off. Because then you can make monks get.
Like I said, I'm just gonna believe you. I'm just saying Ultimate Offering could come to 3.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Next we have some new dinosaurs.
Specifically, Rex Raptor support.
Sure.
It's literally just.
Well, I know, but it also works with the Transcend Drakes.
Yeah.
And this is coming out of Duelist Nexus. So, Dino players, eating good.
Yeah.
You want the first one?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so. One moment.
Ha!
Okay.
I thought you were going to start. So, I got some chips.
Yeah.
But then.
I got chips.
You got chips.
Got a chip. Okay. King Rex, the twin-headed dragon. Level 6 Earth dinosaur effect monster. Not a dragon, hilariously. Is this a reference to Crawling Dragon #1, who was a dinosaur, not a dragon?
Maybe.
No, it's not. 1600 attack, 1200 defense. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second effect of this card's name, second effect once per turn. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Cyber Dragon, but better.
Yeah.
2. If this card is normal or specialed, you can target a monster on the field with attack lower than the total attack of all dinos you control. Destroy it. No, this monster being a level 6 is a reference to the fact that two-headed King Rex was level 6 in the original manga.
So, in theory, if you normal summon this guy and you have a baby Ceratosaurus, you can pop it.
Yeah, you can just pop baby.
Okay.
You'd have to tribute summon him at that point?
No. Anyway. Next we have... We'll
Hey,
get there.
spoilers.
King Rex the Dragon King, level 9 Earth Dinosaur Effect Monster. 3200 attack, 1200 defense. When this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can make this card gain a second attack during this battle phase. 2, once per turn, except during the turn this card was summoned, you can target up to 2 monsters your opponent controls and destroy them. This feels like a strictly worse UCT.
Definitely.
Because UCT can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, and it
non-targeting Book of Moons.
Yeah, and it can Book of Eclipse your opponent's field.
Yeah, no. Book. Oh yeah, it is Book of Eclipse. So they don't flip them and draw.
Yeah, but it's like conceptually, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's not good, but
Interesting.
yeah, it's
Next-
another level 9. That way you can run rank 9 plays.
Yeah. Next up, we have Granosaurus, the Magic Head Cannon. Rank 4 Fire Dinosaur Xyz Effect Monster.
I'm
22.
so happy they retrained Granosaurus.
Okay.
It's a retrain I never knew I needed until I got it.
Okay, so there's 2 reasons why they did a Granosaurus retrain.
Okay.
One, it's the only non-numbers Dino Xyz that they
Really?
No. Wait. Yes. I keep thinking. My brain keeps saying Logia and Dolka are dinos, but they're dragons.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Grin is the only non-numbered Dino Xyz.
We're about to find out.
Yeah. And number 2, because he has 2 mouths.
Wait.
Granosaurus had his main mouth, and then he had one in his chest.
What?
Yeah, you can barely see it on Granosaurus' old artwork.
We're about to find out.
Oh, heck yeah.
Is that just true?
Which
What
one?
everything you just said?
Very possibly.
This dude, possibly? All right, all dinosaur Xyz. There's literally only 3. Number 19, Freezedon. Number 61, Volgosaurus.
Yep,
Yeah.
It's the only non-numbered Dino Xyz monster. And if you look,
Is that a mouth?
yeah, but like
He
underneath
does have a second mouth on his stomach. Yeah.
to keep with the 2-headed theming here.
Wow. You're just objectively correct.
Okay, well, rank 4 Fire Dinosaur Xyz.
I should not be so surprised by that.
2200 attack, 2000 defense materials, 2 level 4s. Anyone can make this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. When your dinosaur monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, detach 1, burn your opponent for 1000, and it gains 1000 attack. Permanent. 2. If this Xyz summon card is destroyed, target 1 card on the field, destroy it, and then burn your opponent for 1000. It's a worse Gaga Cowboy. Just make Cowboy.
Yeah, literally.
Now, to be fair, if your opponent has a 2200, has something that it can run over, and you run it over, you burn, and then you also get a 3200 beat stick. Which is very Dino, but Ultimate Conductor Tyranno does the exact same thing, but better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that card. It's cool. It looks cool. Artwork's great. That's about it.
All right. Next we have Jurassic Power. Continue a spell card. You can use the 3rd effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. Dinosaur monsters you control gain 300 attack. 2. You can normal summon level 5 or higher dinosaur monsters without tributing. Yo! 3. You can send 1 dinosaur monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. Add 1 dinosaur monster with 1200 defense from your deck to your hand. So, just for example, this card can search Crawling Dragon number 2, Dogoron the Mad Flame Kaiju, Doodle Beast Tyranno, Element Source, Giant Rex, Hyper Hammerhead, Jurak Monolith, Jurak Protops, Mad Sword Beast, Re-X, Samurai Cavalry of Reptier, and 2-Headed King Rex. It can just search all of these.
In addition to King Rex, the twin-headed dragon, and King Rex, the Dragon King.
I think this card is unironically very good. I think that this is probably the best card of all the ones we've read so far.
I just realized something.
What?
King Rex, the Dragon King,
Mm-hmm.
is King the Dragon King. Rex I think Rex is like Latin for king or something. Because like Tyrannosaurus Rex means Tyrant Lizard King.
It means the reigning king.
So his name is King Reigning King, the Dragon King.
I wonder if dragon also means king. Wouldn't that be funny?
I mean, I know dragons have been related to royalty for centuries in over in China and Japan.
Yeah, it doesn't. So.
I don't know about Korea. I really haven't studied Korea very much. I should probably change that.
You want to hit the last card?
Oh yeah, the last dinosaur card.
Well, yeah, the last card from this particular.
Last dinosaur cards ever.
Yeah.
They're just going to discontinue the whole type. Transcendental Evolution Pill Beta. Look at that. It's almost a Transcendrate card. You can only
It's
activate,
very close.
Well, you can only activate one card of this card's name per turn. Ooh, look, it's even got Mega Zowler in it.
Oh, it does. Wow.
Yeah. 1. Tribute 2 monsters from your hand and or field, including at least 1 dinosaur monster. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, except dinosaur, dragon, sea serpent, and worm monsters. Literally the Transcendric typing.
Yes.
Also special summon a level 5 or higher dinosaur monster from your deck with or extra deck with an attack higher than the tributed monster's total attacks. So if you just tribute something like a extra baby Ceratosaurus and like, I don't know, Oviraptor at 1600, that's a total of like $2,000. You can special summon any level 5 or higher dinosaur monster from your deck or extra deck with 2,000 or more, well, 2,100 or more attack.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's, yeah, pretty solid.
Oh yeah, particularly because then it also lets you fetch it out of your extra deck.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Voici la carte. Here is the menu. So this is from Deck Build Pack Wild Survivors, and this is a new spell card to go with the new, what was the name of the archetype? It's a Hungry Burger support.
Yeah, Nouveau.
Nouveau, yeah. So this is Voici la carte. Here is the menu. Normal spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. 1. Reveal 2 Nouvelles monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent picks 1 for you to add to your hand, and you shuffle the rest back into your deck. Then you can add 1 of these cards from your graveyard, deck, or graveyard to your hand based on the added monster's type. So if you add a Beast Warrior, you can add Recette Poisson Fish Recipe. And if you add a Warrior, you can add Recette Viande Meat Recipe. So if you add a Beast Warrior, you can get the Fish Recipe, and if you add a Warrior, you can get the Meat Recipe.
And then if you're like, I need specifically meat, you can just reveal 2 warriors.
Yes.
2 different ones. Your opponent picks 1, you get your meat recipe.
You know what this card is that's very scary?
Yeah, what's the name of that old Yu-Gi-Oh card where it's like...
Pot of Greed. It's an inherent +1.
It is. But no.
This card is a literally free +1.
But it functions like another old Yu-Gi-Oh card where it's like you reveal 5 cards to your opponent, they pick 1, yeah, that's
Painful
your hand.
choice,
Painful.
and the rest go to the graveyard.
Yeah, it's literally just painful choice.
It's really not far off.
Yeah. It's Pot of Greed from the point of view of painful choice.
That is certainly a way that you could describe it.
Better. It's if Pot of Greed and Painful Choice had a baby.
That is also certainly a way that you could describe it.
And Hungry Hamburger's the godfather.
Those are certainly words that form a sentence. Anyway.
Anywho's the what's-its.
We got an entire archetype. But like one that we already had, but it's like enough new cards to be another entire archetype.
Yeah, like, because normally when they release an archetype, they normally give us about 7 cards to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us 7 new Infernoble cards. So, I'll start. We have Infernoble Knight, Ricardetto, Fire Warrior Tuner, effect monster, level 1, 500 attack, no defense. You can only use one of the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn, only once that turn. So you get one or the other of these effects. You can't get both. 1. Banish this card from your hand or graveyard. Special summon a level 4 or lower Fire Warrior monster from your hand as a tuner. 2. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target a level 4 or lower Fire Warrior monster in your graveyard, except another copy of itself. No, not another copy of itself. Yeah, except another copy of itself. Special summon.
Nope.
Yeah, Infernoble Knight, Ricardette, which is like strangely a combination of its direct translation. Like if you go all the way back up and look at it, it's like in Japanese.
Oh, I see.
They kind of mix them
It
together.
is okay, so it is except.
Yeah, except
okay,
itself.
so it's just spelled different.
Special summon it, and also you cannot special summon monster for the rest of this turn except warriors. Fun fact: Ricardetto is probably just Richard, brother of Bradamante and Renaud.
Next we have Infernoble Knight Tulpan, Fire Warrior effect monster, level 5, 1400 attack, 1700 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If you control a monster equipped with an equipped spell card, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but if it is special summoned from the graveyard, banish it when it leaves the field. 2. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one warrior monster you control. Equip this card to that monster you control. 3, if the equipped monster is used as synchro material, you treat it as a tuner. So essentially, it's a free special summon from hand or grave if you control an equip spell. If it's in your graveyard, you can equip it, and then it lets whatever you equip it to become a tuner.
Yeah, so if you're sitting there with 2 non-tuners and this guy in grave, and you go, cool, one of them's now a tuner. Let's go.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Next up, we have Angelica, Princess of the Noble Arms. Fire Warrior Synchro Effect Monster, level 5, 1200 attack, 2400 defense. Generic, 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuners.
Oh boy, I love the idea of a generic level 5 synchro extender.
You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. If this card is special summoned, you can add a card that mentions Infernoble Knight, Emperor Charles, or 1 Horn of Oliphant from your deck to your hand. 2. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card, or when this card is targeted for an attack. Quick effect. Send a Fire Warrior monster from your deck to your graveyard, and if you do, banish this card until the end phase. Then special summon a Roland monster from your deck or extra deck.
So this card feels like dang long.
Yeah, but like if she gets targeted, she just foolish barrels something and says bye.
The funny thing is that you can target her with your own card and get the effect. You can make this happen.
You can equip her with an equip spell. Equip spells target.
Do they?
Yes. It would then trigger her effect. She'd leave. Reynald would come out. The equip spell would just go straight to the graveyard.
I don't think it targets. I think it equips.
In order to equip, you have to target. Let's
Let's
Google that real quick. Rulings live on air.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Do equip cards target autofill. All equip spells require that you target a monster to activate them.
Where's that coming from?
Yu-Gi-Oh! r/Yu-Gi-Oh! 101.
I don't know that I trust some random bozo on Reddit. I'm not saying I don't trust random bozos on Reddit, but I also don't know that I do.
Well, there's Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki. Oh, okay. I think this will be pretty good. An official.
Is it from Yugipedia?
The thing I'm looking at, the picture of the thing I'm looking at it is.
I don't trust Yugipedia. They deleted their whole site.
But the thing I'm looking at is an official Yu-Gi-Oh! Tip card. Number 37 of 50. Retargeting equipment. Sometimes your opponent will play a really powerful equip spell on a monster, make it too powerful for your monster to defeat, but there are cards that let you take that equip spell card and use it for yourself instead.
That's not helpful at all.
Cards like Taylor the Fickle can allow you to retarget an equip spell card to a new target. It says target a lot. Let's see. Here's an old Pojo forum on it.
I'm asking another fellow judge.
Yeah. What's so funny?
Okay, so I asked Giant Skyhawk. I said, hey, do equip spells target or do they just
Equip?
He said, all caps, funny you should ask. It depends. The activation of equip spell always targets. Okay. The equipping... Go away. Go away. What?
We didn't say Siri.
Don't say it too loud.
Fair. I just did it.
The equipping of cards does not always target. So if you activate an equip spell, it will target.
Yeah, so activate an equip spell to equip it to her. It'll trigger her effect. She leaves. The equip spell goes to grave, but it's Infernoble. They don't care.
Okay.
And then they get a free Reynald.
That's really dumb. But, okay. Well, fair enough. Okay. Not Renaud, Roland.
Yeah, Roland. Thank you.
Different card.
Yes, completely different card.
All right, next we have Charles Taite. That's a funny Japanese name. Charlemagne. It translates to Charlemagne.
It's literally just Charlemagne.
Yes. Oh, he got the Skyrim HUD.
Oh, boy.
For those wondering, Ludwig is doing a stream where every time he gets to a new 5-minute barrier in a Super Mario 64 speedrun, he has to add a HUD from a video game. He has, I'm not even joking, at this current moment, like 14 different HUDs on his screen.
All overlay one on top of the other.
Dude, he's got like Wii Golf with Sims 3. Now he's adding Skyrim.
Yep.
Pikmin. I mean, just every
Smash
HUD
Brothers,
you can think of.
Overwatch, God of War.
What was the other one? What you said?
Warframe. Legend of Zelda, specifically Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Yeah. There's some soccer one.
Yeah, SimCity.
Dude, so many HUDs.
Yep.
Anyway, Charlemagne, Fire Warrior Link Effect Monster. Yes, the Infernoble Knight's got a Link monster. And even worse, I just noticed it has 3,000 attack.
Read the materials to Link summon this guy.
Oh, okay. Link 1, 3,000 attack, bottom Link arrow. 1 level 9 Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles equipped with an equipped card. Wow. I was like, wow.
This is really powerful.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It's very specific.
That's extremely specific. This is how Link 1 should be. Extremely specific.
1.
If this card is Link summoned, you can target one Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles in your graveyard. This card's name becomes that monster's original name, and replace this effect with that monster's original effects. Then equip it to this card as an equip spell that gives it 500 attack. 2. Once per turn, when a spell, trap card, or effect is activated. Quick effect. You can send one equip spell from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Wow. What a card. That's got to be the most
Infernoble Knight card.
Yeah.
Infernoble Knight cards ever.
Yeah.
Infernoble Knight.
That's definitely one of the cards of all time. Wow. That's really funny.
Also, I think it's the highest attack point Link 1.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because all the other Link 1s are like, yeah, we
1,000, you know,
15, 16 maybe.
I don't know. I think
like at most.
I know Monk has 1,000.
Yeah.
I think Meow Meow Moo had 1,000.
Yeah. Striker Dragon had 1,100.
I know Link and Linkuriboh both have like 300 or something.
Link has 0, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Linkuriboh definitely has 300 because it's literally just Kuriboh.
What about the Salamangreat? Almirage?
Yeah, Almirage has like 200, I think. 200 or 300.
There's more than one salad. There's more than one Salamangreat.
There's Almirage and there's Balinks. Balinks has, I think, 600.
I thought it was like 16. Is that Sunlight Wolf?
Yeah, Sunlight Wolf has 16. But then whenever you reincarnate summon it, it's got like 2,500, I think, or something.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't fully remember. Long story short,
this guy definitely has the most.
Yeah, because most of them have within like a level 1 to 3 average range.
Right.
Level 1 to 3 monster, I mean.
Okay, next card.
All right. Next up, we have Infernoble Arms Almus. Equip spell. You can only use one of the first and second effects of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. 1. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can equip an Infernoble Arms equip spell from your deck or graveyard to an appropriate monster you control, except another copy of this card. Then destroy this card. 2. If this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster was sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your Fire Warrior monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, add it back to your hand.
You can literally just use this and then equip it to a card and then send it to the graveyard to equip Durandal from your... So it's like you're running 6 copies of Durandal.
Something else you could do?
And Durandal just lets you search whatever you want.
Something else you could do is...
If you equip it to something,
yeah,
then you link that thing off or synchro off with it.
If you equip Charles with this to turn him into Charlemagne,
yes.
Not only will he equip the Charlemagne, you can grab
you can grab something that's banished and add it to your hand or in your graveyard. That's pretty interesting.
Oh, definitely.
Next, we have the Noble Arms Museum, a field spell for the archetype. Wow.
It's the museum that you see in a lot of the Noble Arms cards that were released for the Infernoble Knights, because all the swords were in Noble Knights were all in museums.
Right. So Durandal is in a museum. Even the new one, Almace, is in a museum.
Yeah.
So
The older ones weren't. Like Excalibur, or Caliburn, Excalibur,
some of them were.
or Feudatier. Like the original set weren't.
Some of them were, I think.
Not the original set. The original set was Caliburn, Feudatier, and Noble Arms of Destiny.
Are there more than that? I feel like there's more than that.
There was more, but they really weren't run. But yeah, they didn't start doing the museum because I had a Noble Knight deck back in the day. Remember?
Everybody had a Noble Knight deck back in the day. Okay, here's Durandal in a museum. Haute Claire's in a museum. Joyeuse in a museum. Noble Arms of Light. That does not look very museum-y.
That was one of the ones that was originally. That's our Feudatier.
Our Feudatier is in a rock. Okay. Same with Caliburn.
Mhm.
Clorent is in the process of being laid into what looks like a museum thing. Excalibur, definitely, it's coming from the lake. Gallatin, another one in a
There
rock.
is Gallatin.
Why are they all in
Noble Arms of
rocks? Why are they all in rocks?
Because they're all the sword and the stone.
There's only, how many sword and the stones are there? Why are there 6 swords and stones?
Depends on who you ask.
Dude. What is it with British people and swords stuck in stones? Why is this such a frequent problem?
It's not the Brits, it's the Celts.
Why are so many of their swords stuck in rocks? Why is this such an issue?
That is a question that historians and like people who's in folklorists have been asking for decades.
Probably centuries.
No, decades.
Why do they have so many? Are swords just like falling out of the sky and lodging themselves into rocks?
You know
Do
what?
they just have soft rocks?
Well, I mean, the shores of Dover, I think, are made of chalk.
What?
That's why they're white.
What? I'm
I
fact
think.
checking this.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, because I know the shores of Dover are white, and that was part. And I think that
The
was
White Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why Britain was
Son of a
originally
gun.
called Albion.
The weight of the overlying sediments cause the deposits to become consolidated into chalk. It's chalk.
Which, as we know, is very soft.
It's chalk.
But all the rocks more inland are usually, I want to say...
Where's Dover?
Oh, the cliffs of Dover are like...
I mean, like in relation to London, like on a map.
Oh, like... I think it's like in between the land, like that's like whenever you go from France or Spain to Britain. I think. I'm not 100% sure.
If you go from Spain to Britain, then it would be on.
The southern, like the southern.
Yo, that's
side.
close to London, I think.
It might be. Might be able to, you might end up having to fly over it.
No, I would.
Okay, yeah. It's closer. It's closer on the east.
That's what I said. It's on the
south,
Spain side. So if it's by, which it's actually by France.
Yeah, it's on the France side.
So if it's on the France side,
Yeah,
then that means that like,
it's pretty close.
yeah. I wonder how far of a trip this would be.
But yeah,
I
like
kind
so
of want to go see this while I'm over there.
But like so that, and I think that's one of the reasons why Britain, the island, was originally called Albion.
Oh, because of the White Cliffs?
Yeah.
Or because of the swords and rocks?
No, because that's because I think when the Romans first arrived, that was like the first thing they would have seen were the White Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like
Because
the
they-
narrowest crossing. Yeah.
Yeah. So of course they would have been like landmass. This is the narrowest
You have
crossing.
to put a Super Mario 64 overlay on top,
on
of everything
Super
else.
Mario 64.
Wow.
Even Terraria, man. Jeez.
Yeah, he had to put Terraria a
yeah,
few
anyway.
minutes ago. So, my question is,
Mhm.
why has nobody ever told them how much these swords rock? Anyway, so the Noble Arms Museum field spell. First effect, fire warrior monsters you control gain 500 attack. Yo,
Flame Swordsman.
I
Yeah,
stand field spells that give small attack boosts. 2. Once per turn, you can pay 1,200 life points, add 1 Noble Arms card from your deck to your hand, except the Noble Arms Museum.
Okay.
Yo, Konami try to print a field spell that doesn't search and
For
1
free.
archetypal card for free challenge. Impossible.
But you do it not on activation. You do it once per turn. That's the trade-off. You're paying for it, but if that field spell stays up, you can just do it over and over and over.
No, Caleb.
It's a soft once per turn.
It's a soft once per turn. You could just keep doing it. 3. Once per turn, if you applied this card's second effect this turn, you can target 1 Noble Knight monster card in your spell and trap zone, special summon it. Also, if you did not control Noble Knight Emperor Charles at activation, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except for warriors. This field spell is a museum referencing the fact that France alleges to still possess swords such as Durandal, while the British do not have any physical evidence of swords like Excalibur.
They're not wrong.
Is this entire archetype just a shot at France?
Or no,
France is catching strays for
no
reason.
Well, no. In this case, that would be a shot at Britain.
No,
Because
it's
France
references France alleges to still possess
fair.
these swords. France is catching strays out of nowhere.
By the way,
Card game. It's a card game. They're catching strays in a card game.
By the way, that reminds me. I learned something really cool about Excalibur a couple of days ago.
No one asked.
It would have been a Gladius. It would have been a Gladius. It would have been a Gladius.
Literally, who asked, bro? I'm just kidding. I love you, and that actually is a pretty cool and interesting fact.
Yeah, no.
Wait. It would have been a Roman short sword.
Yeah.
Excalibur.
Yeah. Because the Arthurian legend takes place, like whenever it's originally told, which is originally told word of mouth during the Dark Ages.
Okay, sure.
They talked about the civilization a long time ago, which would have been when the Romans came in.
Or the Celts.
The Celts were
Eradicated by the Romans.
No, the Celts were like... So, like, there's already a people here, and they mix, and they kind of interbred with the Romans, and that's what made the Celts.
Oh, the Gaelics were the original ones.
Yes.
And then the Gaelics and the Romans made the Celts.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So, and the Gaelics at the time didn't have swords.
What?
They really didn't have very much metallurgic technology. I mean, the Romans barely had metallurgy. Well, the Greeks, I mean, barely had metallurgy.
Yeah, but the Romans came after the Greeks. That's
Yes.
what made the Romans so powerful.
Yeah. It was the fact that they had metallurgy.
Bronze.
Yeah, they had metallurgy and iron later. Much later, they had iron. But bronze was like the big thing. So then they were able to actually properly make actual swords, whereas the Gaelics had axes and spears. Spears, however, being the best weapon, even against an armored opponent, hilariously enough. So yeah, it would have been... Yeah, so yeah, if it was a sword from a long time ago during the Dark Ages, it has to be a Gladius.
It's probably a Gladius.
Fun fact, do you know why Gladiuses are always so short?
Good for stabbing with.
Because bronze is heavy.
That makes sense.
Bronze is real heavy and bad for weapons and armor because it's so heavy.
Anyway. The next one is yours unless you want me to do it.
Then I got it. So lastly, we have the...
I'm glad we went from Caleb the sleepy boy right before we recorded to Caleb the very excited about swords boy.
Yes, I'm a history nerd. Okay, so...
And also these chips are doing the trick, I'm telling you.
It's a combination of the chips, the water, and then also...
Stretching before we started.
Yeah, and history buff. Okay, the last card is the Epic Poem of Charles, Normal Trap. And I love the artwork for this, where it's like someone designing the Emperor Charles card.
Dude, I didn't zoom in. Oh my goodness, dude, that's so funny.
Also, if you look in the top right, it's one of the noble arms.
Dude, that's so funny. Konami just broke the fourth wall.
Oh, then also on the left in the book is another noble arms. They're using it as a reference for the ones that Charles is holding in the artwork.
Dude, this is such a funny card artwork.
Okay, normal trap. You can only use the first and second effect because this card's name each once per turn. 1. Reveal a Noble Arms equipped spell in your hand. If you do, special summon an Infernal Noble Knight monster from your deck, hand or deck, then either equip it or send the reveal card to the graveyard. 2. You can banish the card from your graveyard, then target an Infernal Noble Knight Emperor Charles you control. Equip it with a Noble Knight monster from your hand or deck as an equipped spell that gives it 500 attack.
Okay.
It's actually pretty good.
Dude, these cards are kind of sick.
Oh yeah, no, these are good cards. Infernal Noble
Shout,
Knights.
shout out Annie Evie on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
She's losing it over these dogs.
She is eating well tonight.
Honestly, I'm actually like really excited for these. This is
yeah, because like I really like the original Noble Knights, and I do like the Ignoble Knights.
I agree.
As a concept.
Infernoble Knights.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Is it Infernoble or Ignoble?
I think okay, so the original archetypes was Noble Knights, and then they also introduced the Ignoble Knights, which were some of the Noble Knights who had rejected the code of the Noble Knights and basically became Fallen Knights. I think there's like 2 of them total. And then you have the Infernoble Knights. And the only reason why I'm able to keep that straight is because I think the Infer stands for Inferno Noble Knights.
Right, that's what I was
assuming. All fires, whereas the original Noble Knights were dark, earth, and light.
Yeah, that's what I was assumed.
Yeah. What I loved about it was that the original Noble Knight, what was it? It was Noble Knight. I don't remember his base form, but like basically King Arthur, his vanilla monster base
Artorias.
Form. Yeah, that's his powered up name was Arturgus.
Oh, okay.
And then he went
that was
through,
Xyz.
Yeah. His base form, which was a vanilla. His flavor text was a poem about the Noble Arms caliber, and it was cool.
I do remember that. Yes.
It was so cool.
All right. So, with that said, let's go ahead and talk about the new changes. So, yes, this is what this was the clicky baity.
Yeah. We didn't really clickbait because we are talking about it.
Yeah, but we waited till the end on purpose, and I feel like that's a little baiting some clicks.
I mean, we also normally start with new cards.
True. We did get around to it. Anyway, so there were some I'm not going to say major updates, but there were some updates to the official Konami Entertainment tournament infractions and penalty policy. So basically, this is what tells judges, hey, when you're at an event and this happens, it is a problem. When you're at an event and this happens, it's okay because this is why. So I'm just going to read the WAJ organization breakdown of this.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that there's some pretty key stuff here that's not mentioned.
Yeah. Well, okay, so like this is just kind of a quick little like the number 1, any change to the document on this is like boilerplate changes. Any changes to the document not listed below. These are either legalese clarifications or wording clarifications or formatting changes. They're ultimately not of terribly major concern to the casual reader. So basically they like reword some stuff so it reads and makes more sense. A bunch of like random legalese that your average player would never even encounter or even need to read. If that makes sense.
Okay, so but there is something here. Oh no, okay, it does mention it. Okay. So these are already existing rules and policy within KDE events, and these are now listed as examples, so you cannot feign ignorance. These are now, everything here is now explicitly stated as an infraction. So
correct.
Konami reminds you that you should act appropriately on stream and not embarrass yourself. To make sure you mask up while at events if requested to do so. To please do not dead name or misgender fellow event participants, and do not falsify vaccination records. So, for example, when you go to sign in at a tournament, they do a vaccination check. If you give false vaccination information, that is a disqualifying and bannable offense. If you go up to a table and let's just say that your opponent, you walk up and you say, "How's it going, man?" And they say, "Actually, I identify as female." Then if at that point, if you continue to intentionally
Yeah.
misgender your opponent.
The key thing here, though, is that is you are intending to do it.
Correct. So, despite what some people would say and have you believe, if you just accidentally in passing say something to somebody that's not
And then
going to be...
And they correct you, go, oh, my bad, and then just continue on with the correction.
It's
Nope.
not an issue.
Yeah, it's not an issue. It's a non-issue.
Basically, just respectfully, don't be a dickhead,
Yeah. That goes without saying.
Regarding whether or not a judge call is appropriate and noting to not use them to gain an advantage. So essentially, this is saying that you can't call a judge just for the reason of just, saying that something dumb and sharking, etc.
Yeah.
These are something that's enforceable now. So if there is a concern about rulings or policy, like call a judge, and the intent of the judge call is to ensure a fair and consistent tournament. So something considered not appropriate would be judge calls should not be used to attempt to gain an unfair advantage over another person or to turn penalties against another person. This is rule sharking. So, for example, if you say, hey, this person, they went into their deck for a search and, they didn't offer to cut before they went back in. So like, I do a search and my opponent's like, "Nah, you're good. Like I don't have any interruptions." And then you just like say your deck down and then you go back or something like you're like that's intent. Like while yes, you are technically supposed to like offer to cut, like
shuffle and cut after every single search.
Right. There is also a matter of you have to maintain pace of play, and with the way the time rules are, just kind of keep moving at a good pace. You just kind of move along with your life.
A great example of that is activate. What's your searcher in Sword Soul?
Sword Soul Emergence.
Yeah, search Mo Yi, and then you set your deck down because you're probably gonna go right back in a hot second
With Chi Xiao, yeah.
Normal summon reveal, Chi Xiao, search, shuffle, cut, draw.
Right.
As an example.
Yes, I would say that more or less that's the idea. Yeah. And then somebody calls a judge, like, call a judge and you're like, oh, well, they didn't present their deck properly or something,
they didn't shuffle after they searched.
Right. So, the point is intentionally calling judges to say, hey, I want this person to be given a penalty for this extremely minor thing.
Yeah.
That's actually worth getting an unsportsmanlike conduct of your own.
Mm-hmm.
Judge calls should not be used to seek loopholes in policy to attempt to gain an unfair advantage or attempt to use rulings or policy to misinterpret the game state. This is unsporting conduct cheating. So this is if your opponent keeps their deck at the bottom and then like for whatever reason they mix their banish in their graveyard.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's not sit here and say that they're intentionally doing that, trying to swap them and then trying to get them DQ'd, like
especially if they're like, oh, my bad, and switch them back.
Yeah. Judge calls should not be used with the intent to specifically penalize another person, gain an unfair advantage, or misrepresent game state. So, again, don't specifically try to penalize somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. So, also, next time extensions have been clarified. Ooh. So, let's see here. Any judge call that lasts longer than 1 minute requires that the match be given an appropriate time extension. Time extensions are given after the call has been resolved. Should only be given for the applicable time lost during a round. So you should never give a time extension longer than the time that remains in the round. Okay, that's interesting. Time extension should not be given when there is an infraction that results in a game loss. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
And multiple time extensions may occur during a round for the same match. Okay. So just clarifying a little bit of like what constitutes a time, a time extension and stuff.
Yeah, and like lengths and stuff like that.
Oh, acceptable versus repairable versus irreparable game states? Wow.
Yeah.
An irreparable game state. If both duelists share fault in a single game state error that merits a game loss, determine which duelist is most at fault. Award that duelist with the game loss. Wow. And the duelist less at fault still gets a warning. Irreparable game state should never result in a double game loss except as an upgrade. And an irreparable game state should never result in restarting a duel or match. Those make sense.
Yeah.
Wow, so if you determine that it's an irreparable game state, you just give a game loss. I feel like actually that may have been the thing, but still.
Yeah.
And you can go into the actual policy docs to
read it. Yeah.
Yes, to actually read examples of what constitutes a repairable versus an irreparable game state.
I think that's what they added. I think they added more examples.
Maybe. Yes. Accepted game states. The judge may make the determination that even though the game state has been damaged, it has happened too far back to fully repair and does not create a significant advantage for the duelist most at fault. The judge may then declare the game state to be accepted, meaning play will continue as is. Okay, so accepted game state example, I'll just read one example. Both duelists misread a card effect and resolve the effect incorrectly. The error is caught later when one of the duelists plays another copy of the card. The judge investigates and determines that both duelists genuinely misunderstood the effect. Both duelists should receive a warning, as it is both duelists' responsibility to maintain the correct game state, and gameplay should continue from that point. I think having these examples are going to be a really welcome thing for judges.
Oh, definitely.
To genuinely have an idea of what should and should not be happening at these times. Next, we have a general upgrade and downgrade in the intensity of penalties. We have clarity on the concept of slow play.
Okay, okay.
So let's just go down here and just skip past penalties, because I feel like that's like there's like a lot to that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's at least like 6 or 7 pages of this.
I mean, that'd probably be a whole episode just in and of itself.
It really is. Wow, there is a just a ton of these. Wow. Ah, I see. Slow playing is talked about in all of those examples that I don't have time to find.
Fair enough.
And it gives examples of cheating such as collusion or rolling a dice to determine the winner of a match or bribes. So, for example, if you're at an event and you say, I've already locked up top 32. I'm good. You know, like, I'm just going to let you have the match. It gives you a better record or whatever, and I don't need it.
Yeah,
That's technically an issue.
Yeah, I'm going to go get me some food or something.
Yeah, I mean, that is technically not allowed. And I guess technically you could just go into the match and scoop the match.
Yeah, you can literally go, okay, cool, game 1, scoop.
Right. I think
Game
the
2,
issue becomes, and I think it becomes an issue when you intentionally collude to let your opponent get the match to give them better odds of topping.
Yeah.
And like saying that out loud.
Yeah, but
I think if you say like, I want to go get food.
Yeah,
I think that's actually less of an issue.
Yeah, you got the match, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
you got the match, I don't feel like playing right now.
Yeah. Next we got what it means to be suspended in and outside of events, and what can cause it, such as impersonating being KDE staff. So if you're pretending that you're a judge or something and you're not, attacking or threatening a judge, okay, cyberbullying, etc. Also, it is clarified in here, spreading privileged information. So like if you see there's leaks and stuff that are not, publicly announced, and you spread those, that is a bannable offense now. Now it is in the rulebook and clarified.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Tatsum.
Yeah.
We miss you, bud. So also, we won't be talking about any leaks ever for the rest of our careers unless it's public information from Konami like sources. Player affecting changes. Match slips are now the responsibility of the winner of a match to turn into the scorekeeper. Thought they already were. Failure to bring your match slip to the scorekeeper within 5 minutes of the round ending will result in a game loss in the following round. Let's go.
Oh.
Let's go. We want this. This is good. This is why we don't want matches and rounds having 40-minute overlaps because they're waiting on three people's things and they're outside smoking.
Yep.
Players attended events for the sole purpose of buying cards from players will be disqualified even if not in the event and suspended. So if you go to an event with the sole purpose of buying people's entire collections and they find out about it, you can get banned for that. The caution penalty has been retired. This means even at locals now, your minor offenses will be written warnings that follow you elsewhere. Huh. This is my first time hearing of this. Wow, I guess if you get given a penalty at locals, like it goes in their system forever.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. I guess this is a way to track, like, if that one dude from your locals that everybody hates goes to a YCS.
Yeah, they can kind of go, oh, you got it.
These guys got a history.
Yeah, you're a problem player, so...
Yeah.
Excuse me. Ooh.
All right, so I absolutely recommend everybody
read this
take
document.
the time to read this doc.
We'll have a link to it in the description.
I was just about to
PDF.
say that. Yeah, you can literally just click on it, and it's not really like that long.
Whoops.
Yeah, that was me sending you the doc.
Yeah.
It's not really that long. It's not egregious or anything, but there is a little bit of length there to it.
Yeah.
So
There's probably some of it you can kind of skim instead of actively reading, but a good chunk of it I would highly recommend you read.
yes, for sure. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and thank all of our wonderful, beautiful patrons. Again, trying to set up that patron goal, so, if you're thinking about it, that would be pretty cool. So a huge thank you to April, Floodgate, Lunalight, Furry Fusion, Cam Yang, Dragonmaid, Stunzeed, Kane Martin, Zypheritz, Blackwing, Silverwind, The Ascendant is the best Floodgate, Earth Machine, Best Deck, Epi. Has anyone actually read Toy Vendor, HGH Cyber, I am McLincoln. If all you have is a Cosmic, every problem looks like a Floodgate, Monstertron, Mountain Man, Oatmeal Spaghetti, Owen Alvarado, Treptrix 1, Kashtira 0, Unbanned number 95, Konami. Understanding and reading are two different things. Virtually Savior's World, Where Flame Swordsman support Konami, Rogue and Tier 2 are the polite terms for bad deck. Aaron Gardner, Asami, Ashless Chaps, Atsuyo, Simp at the Silver Castle, Boxwine, Cyber Dark Duelist, Duty Booty, Dragon Maidenless Behavior, Heroes, Purple Cereal, I'm about to Rika Glamour to it for Costy's Plant Nuts in Your Mouth, Cam, the Hockey Walkie Slush Mixer, Old Man Red, Pin Code 143, Santa Claus, and Valence Hojo Mama. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the podcast. Of course, I do want to remind you to please check out all of our wonderful sponsors if you are looking to buy cards, sleeves, accessories, or whatever. And of course, with all of that said, thank you all and have a great weekend, everybody.
Take care, everyone.